So how did you guys do with the video from the first day? Let's start there, right? I don't want to just pretend like there was never a video on Monday. Hi, Virginia. Hi, Michelle. Hi. So what did you guys like do as a result of the video on Monday? What was something different that you did? We talked about our relationship with ourselves and how that's the foundation for everything, having a healthy relationship with ourselves. And we talked about our mindset, and we talked about how to raise self-esteem and how that translates into every area of our business, right? Hi, Carrie. Oh my goodness, you're here. Hello. So what did you guys do differently? Did you think more about your ideal day? Did you look at your actual days and see how you can get in alignment with those days? Did you play around with your reactions when you think about your business or when you think about yourself? You know, I definitely want to hear, right? So there was no yesterday, Mimi. It's just Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So you haven't missed a thing. So if you watched Monday, awesome. You are right on track. It's Monday, day off to implement. Wednesday, day off to implement. Friday, weekend to implement. So you have missed nothing. All right, guys. So let's just jump in, right? It's a big topic. So let's talk about money and let's talk about time. I want to start out by asking a question, right? Who feels like if they just had, I don't know, if I just had $3,000 more a month, some of my problems would be solved, right? If you feel like that, press 1, like type 1 in the box. Like if you feel whatever the amount is, right? If I just had $500 more, if I had $5,000 more, if I had $50,000 more, if you had some certain amount of more money, right? If you had a certain amount of money and you had more of it, who feels like that would eliminate or alleviate some of your problems? Type 1. And who feels like that with time? Type 2 if you feel like that with time. If you could just have more time in a day, that would take care of so many of your problems, right? If you could have more time in a week or more time in a month or more time in a year, if you could just have more, if you could have more money or if you could have more time, that would help you with some of the challenges and some of the frustrations that you are experiencing. Type 1 if you feel like that about money. Type 2 if you feel like that about time. 1 and 2, right? I say it, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Don't be shy, guys. This is how I keep tabs on what's going on here. Up, Renee's, yeah, 1 and 2, more money. So more money, right? Diana says 1. You carried more time. So they would help. Okay, Michelle, spoiler alerts. Spoiler alerts, Michelle. But we still have that feeling, right? Even though we know it's probably not going to solve everything, we really feel like it'll help. Right? We do. And that's kind of our go-to mentality is, gosh, if I just had one more client, if I could sign one more customer, if I was making, $1,000 more every month, then this would be taken care of, right? That's a normal thought, but kind of like or that we'd experience better results, right? So who thinks not just that it would eliminate kind of big problems, but that you might be able to have better results in your business if you had more money or time? That if you just had a couple of extra hours a day, or if you just had a chunk of money, right, you would have better results. You would have a better outcome in your business, right? A lot of people feel like that, and I don't want you to feel alone in that. But what I want you to see is that mentality, okay, that mentality is thinking about money and time as a solution, right? So that's solution thinking. I have a problem, I have a challenge, money or time, and having more of it would solve a problem, would solve a frustration, would alleviate, eliminate, right? So that's money and time as a solution. But money and time cannot be the solution, right? Like Michelle was saying, it's not the answer, right? Money and time can't be the solution to a problem, and it can't be the reason that you get better results, right? Because it's not the reason why, right? It's the effect. So I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. Money and time cannot be a solution to your problems or be a solution to getting better results, because they're not the reason why you're not getting better results. And they're not the reason why you're having that problem or experiencing that challenge. And therefore, it cannot be a solution, right? Your money situation and your time situation, they're an effect of choices that you're making or not making in other areas of your life, right? So every choice that you make to do something or to not do something brings about your money situation. It causes your time situation, right? Your time situation and your money situation, right? Those aren't the reasons for the results you're getting. They're not the reasons for the problems and challenges that you're having, so they can't be the solution. They're just simply an effect of all of the choices that you're making in your life. Do you guys understand that? Like, I want to make sure you guys get that before I go, right? Your situations, your money and your time situations are not the reason for your problems. They are the effect of your choices, right? I think there's a phrase like that I say, which is, your money and situation are not, you need to make new and better choices, right? It's the choices that you have to change, not just getting more of something. Okay. Carrie says, I'm so busted. I'm so busted, right? So it's like your situations are a result of your choices in life, right? I'm going to spoiler alert here to something ahead. Your choices, the choices you make with money, the choices you make with time, right? Time and money aren't dictating those choices. The choices that you make about what you do in your business and what you do in your life and where you go and where you travel, right? Like, money and time are the effects of your choices, not the reasons for your choices. But we think they're the reasons for our choices, right? I can't do this because I can't afford it. I can't go there. I don't have enough time for that, right? So we look at money and time as the reason for our choices, but really they're the effect. Whatever our situation is with money and whatever our situation is with time, it's simply an effect of all of our choices. And that's a very empowering place to be, guys, because you're no longer a victim to time and money. Does that, I need to know that you guys make sense. Like, type something in the comments so I know. Yesterday the comments disappeared, which really was kind of a bummer. I hope they don't do that again this time. I might have to open up a different window and see. But that's the first takeaway before I can move on to anything else that I need you guys to see, right? Is that if you want more money, if you want more time, if you want better results with money or time, you have to make new and better choices. You are empowered to make choices, right? Okay, good. So Virginia says agree. Diana says understand. Awesome, right? So we have to look at what is the cause of your choices. What is causing you to choose certain things in your life or to not choose certain things in your life, right? And all of those choices and everything that you're doing or not doing, that's creating your money and time situation, right? So now we know that your money and your time and money, they're an effect of your choices. And so you have to make new choices, right? New and better choices to have new results. But what are those choices? So for all of you who know me, you all know that I love mindset, right? Everything, I don't call myself a mindset coach, but you're not going to be able to coach with me on your business if you're not ready to dig into your mindset, right? And like I said in our video on Monday, your thoughts become your feelings, and your feelings lead into your actions, and your actions create your results, right? So it's what you think that causes you to feel something, and it's that feeling that will make you do or not do something, and then the actions, right, are what cause your results. But before we can talk about what new actions, what new choices you have to make to have your new money and time situation, we have to go back to the thoughts. There's no way that with Rita, you're not going to go back to your thoughts on something. So in the pre-work, I asked you to write down your reaction to two phrases. So let's talk about the first one. I want you to type in what your reaction is, right? It can be a response, it can be a feeling, it can be whatever. When I say money is easy to make, money is easy to make. What are your thoughts? Type them in the Type them in the box so I can read. And then I'll know, right, that you guys are still there. Unlike yesterday when I thought you guys had disappeared and you were all still there talking to me. So what are your initial reactions to that? Money is easy to make. It's easy and effortless. Let's even add in that word. It's easy and effortless to make. What is your response? Anybody have a response? I'll tell you that most clients are like, it's work. It takes work. I know, Rita, because I'm working. I'm working around the clock. I'm working all the time. I have to work hard. It doesn't flow in. It's not abundant. I'm feeling a scarcity every time I look at my bank account and I go to pay my bills. That's what my clients are saying, right? So Jamora says maybe, right? Diana says when you love what you do, the money will follow. Renee says yes, it is, right? And what about the phrase, there's plenty of time? There's plenty of time to do everything that you want to do. What is your response to that? That there legitimately is plenty of time to do everything that you want to do in your life and to do everything that you want to do in your business. There is absolutely enough time. What do you guys think of that? What are your reactions to that? So Mimi says maintaining wealth is work, right? People are saying there is not enough time. Okay, so the money's like, yeah, maybe money flows. Maybe money's always there. Like, I personally think money's easy to make and money is easy to maintain, right? Not my clients definitely think the opposite, right? And here I am like, yeah, time's unlimited, right? So you guys are with money are like, yeah, maybe Rita, maybe money's easy. Time, you're like, no way. There is not enough time to do everything that I want to do in a day. Right? Or it's hard to stay on track, right? So that's a response that Diana has. It's hard to stay on track. So what I want you guys to do is notice the stories. All of this is, every reaction that you have is a story. So we talked about this in Monday's video. And in case you missed it, right? We have what we call predominant thoughts, okay? And these are those immediate default reactions that we have to things. So we see a color, we have an immediate default response, right? I can say the word airplane, and all of you will have a different reaction to the word airplane. Some people say fear because they're afraid of traveling. Some people say excitement, adventure, right? Everybody has a different reaction to everything. Money. Some people have come back when I say, what's your reaction to the word money? People say scary. People say exciting. People say abundant. People say risky. People say not there. Abandonment, right? Sure. Oh, look, Siri's talking to me. I said a word Siri liked. So you have a different reaction, right? That's your predominant thought. And your predominant thought comes from everything in your past, every experience that you've had. So on Monday's video, we talked about how to look at experiences and what you do to then figure out decisions you made about yourself, right? And how to then make different choices based on rewriting the decisions that were keeping us from what we wanted to do. That applies here, right? But what I want to talk about today is how to rewrite a story. Because a lot of you email me going, Rita, I identified my stories, right? Like Mimi shared a story, right? Her stories are, number one, money's easy to make. And number two, it takes work to maintain. Those are just stories. One of them is in alignment with the results that Mimi wants with her business, which is money is easy to make. The second one is not so much in alignment, that it takes a lot of work to maintain money. Right? We want that to be easy too. We want it to be easy and effortless to maintain money, right? So we all have stories. Risky, not there for me, scary, love it, abundant, scarce, easy to get, hard to keep, right? All of that. We have different stories around time and we have different stories around money. And what's really important is to notice your stories and then highlight the ones, right? This is going to be work for you to do. Highlight the ones that are not in alignment with the results that you want with your business or your life, right? So Carrie says, money's easy and time is manageable when I remain on task. So there's a story that's nothing but a story, Carrie, that remaining on task is tricky for you. It's not tricky. It's a story that you tell yourself. So that's a story that's not in alignment with the results that you want. So we need to rewrite the story. So now I'm going to use Carrie as an example because Carrie's the one that wrote that. Okay. So here's how you rewrite a story, because it doesn't help when coaches are getting up going, you need to know your stories and you need to change your stories. And you're like, how in the hell do I change my story? And they're not telling you, right? So I'm going to tell you how you can do some work to change your story. So I'm going to use Carrie as an example. So her story is remaining on task is tricky. Remaining on task is tricky. And the next part of what you do after you identify the story is identify what benefit you get from having that story. So Carrie, I'm going to ask you, by saying that staying on task is tricky, right? That it just is, it's tricky for you. What benefit? It's not really a benefit, right? But we're going to call it a benefit. What benefit do you get from having that story? Type it in the box for me. And for everybody else, I want you to go through this process with the stories that don't serve you, with the stories in any area of your life, but especially around money and time, that don't lead to the results that you want with money and time. So Carrie, what benefit do you get by saying it's tricky? I mean, I'm just a victim of the fact that I was born with the gene, right, that is tricky. What benefit do you get? Do you even know? Oh, do you guys notice that I'm switching between coffee and Diet Coke? That would have been totally like a bad movie, right? What? Like, she cut and went to Diet Coke, but she was just drinking a coffee. Oh my goodness. All right. So I don't know if you guys are typing and the comments just went away because I'm not seeing anything come in. And so if they did go away, again, I apologize, and it's really frustrating, and I will go back through. Okay. Oh, okay. Carrie says trying to type. Stand by. All right. So we're all going to just sing a song, right? We're going to sing my song. Do you guys know what my favorite song is? Because we're talking about money. I'm going to share it in the comments afterwards. But it's Money Is Coming to Me, right? Money's coming to me. I sing that song every day, and it flows in every day. So while Carrie types, I'm going to go ahead and pretend like I know her answer. All right. So when I ask you guys to identify your story, and you have a story that doesn't get you to the result that you want with time and money, the next step is to identify what's the benefit. I put benefit in quotes, benefit that we get, right? And Rachel kind of just said it, right? It lets you off the hook, right? Because I'm just a victim. I'm just a victim of the fact that this is tricky for me. There's nothing I can do to change that. That's just the situation and the circumstance. It's tricky for me. And because it's tricky for me, it's not my fault that I don't do it. Right? I don't have to take personal responsibility for why I'm not staying on task. It's just tricky for me. I was born with the gene that can't stay on task, right? So I don't have to take personal responsibility. And because I'm a victim of it, right, that means that I don't have to do anything differently. I don't have to be uncomfortable or spend my time doing what I don't want to do, or feel bad when I get swept up into a distraction, or try to silence the distraction, because that's tricky for me, right? It's tricky for me. So I don't really have to do anything different. And I don't have to feel bad if I get off course, because there's nothing I could do about it, right? And because there's nothing I can do about it, then it, I get to have a reason, a justification for why I'm not getting the results I want. And it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I was born with the tricky gene. I was born with a tricky gene, right? So there's nothing I can do, right? So Virginia has a story that she's not well organized about how she uses her time, right? Yeah, and you just hit it on the head, Virginia. You said, I'm pretty sure I have to take responsibility, right? That's it. It's not that you're not well organized, right? That's acting like there's nothing you can do to change this situation. I'm simply not a well-organized person. I'm not a well-organized person about my time. So it won't matter what I do with my time, or what new things I implement with my time, or how I do things differently with time, because I simply won't be well-organized. I'm not a well-organized person. But you are, right? You can be. You can make new choices to be. So you're right. You have to take personal responsibility, right? Carrie says it's an excuse, right? So you guys see, first step one, identify your stories that are not in alignment with what you want. Step two, identify the pretend benefit. I get to stay lazy, right? With my dating clients, when I was a date coach, they'd always go, there are no good guys out there. There are no good guys out there. Really? There are none. There are no good guys out there anywhere at all. All the good guys, they all moved to Tahiti. And I don't know. They're all in Tahiti, and they're all locked in a cage, and they're no good guys ever. In fact, they all died of starvation. So now there are no good guys anywhere at all on the planet. None at all. And they're like, fine, Rita, maybe there's a good guy somewhere, right? And I would say, what benefit do you get by saying they're no good guys. Well, it's not my fault that I'm not meeting a good guy. It can't be my fault because there aren't any, right? So when it's not my fault, I don't have to do anything because it won't matter what I go out and do. If I go out here, go out there, say this, do that, go to this event, go to that event, it won't matter, right? So I don't have to do anything because why would I go do something if there are no good guys out there? So I get to stay at home on my couch, comfortable, right? I don't have to take risks. I don't have to put myself out there. I get to stay cozy in my PJs at home watching Grey's Anatomy, right? That's the benefit that they're getting from that story, right? And so you guys, right, have to realize what the benefit is, and then you have to rewrite it. So now we're getting to the rewriting part, right? So the rewriting of Carrie's story about it's tricky for me to stay on task, she has to rewrite that to be in alignment with the result that she wants, which is I am absolutely able to do anything that needs to be done to stay on task. I'm absolutely able to do that, right? I can take personal responsibility for how I'm choosing to spend my time. I can learn the right things that I need to do to deal with distractions. I can select my environments carefully. I can time block my day. I can honor my time blocks. I can learn what I need to do to value myself and value my time, right? So that I can have the results that I want with my day and my business, right? You need to rewrite it. Kind of like using the dating analogy. Everybody loves when I talk about dating. So like using the dating analogy, right? Which is there are no good guys out there. The rewrite would be they're perfectly good guys out there and I'm absolutely able to find one. I can definitely find one. And I'm able to put myself in the positions that I need to meet these people. I'm able to be in unfamiliar environments and navigate them. I can deal with taking risks. I can deal with being uncomfortable to get the result that I want in love. Okay, so Nomura says that her story is making money as easy as, but when it's hard to make money, you get stuck, right? So again, it's like when it gets hard, what does that mean for you? That means you can stop. You can stop. You don't have to deal with the uncomfortableness of doing new things, thinking new ways, maybe doing things that aren't things you know that you necessarily thought would be done, or maybe they're not like the skills you like to use. So it gets hard and you don't want to have to learn or do the new things or put yourself in uncomfortable situations to break through that. And so by having the story that, hey, when it gets hard, right, I can just stop, right? Because now it's hard. Right? That lets you just stop. It lets you off the hook instead of saying, no, making money is easy at all times. And even when it feels difficult, I'm able to do what I need to do to break through that and to do new things and bring in money in new ways, right? So you have to rewrite your stories, guys. That's the first thing, right around time or around money. And so once you have your new stories, there are plenty of good guys out there. That has nothing to do with time or money. There are plenty of good guys out there, right? Money is easy to make. It's easy to keep. I'm able to do all the things to make that a reality. Time is plentiful. I have plenty of time in a day. I'm able to make all the choices I need to do everything I want to do and stay on task. You need to tell yourself these new stories, right? Because you're rewriting years and years and years and years of stories that we've inherited and taken on and lived. So you need to just shower yourself in those stories. Write them down, read them, play them back to yourself. Say them in the shower day after day after day after day. Eventually, they will become your new reality. They will become your new stories, right? And what did I say at the beginning? Your thoughts lead to your feelings, which lead to your actions, which create your results, right? And we definitely get what we look for, everybody. Who believes that, right? We get what we look for. So they train race car drivers, right? They train them. When you lose control of your car, don't look at the brick wall because you're going to slam right into the brick wall, right? You get what you look for. If you're looking for the wall, you're going to slam into it. Look to the open space, right? If you're looking at time is tricky, guess what you're going to find? Staying on task is tricky. Lakshmi just said, there's so much to do. Work, kids, I don't know where to start. If you think you don't know where to start, guess what? You're never going to know where to start. Never. So you're going to have to tell yourself, I absolutely know where to start. I can sit down and figure it out and detail my priority and know, right? You have to. It all starts with mindset. So you guys have to shower yourself in these stories so they lead to the new feelings, which will create the reactions, right? Which bring about the results, right? So now that I've got you guys showering in stories, you guys are just like, I gotta take a shower in stories. Rita made me do it. I gotta go take a shower and all these stories, right? The next thing that I want to talk about is your language, because while our mindset is keeping us from having a healthy and sexy relationship with time and money, our language is also, right, keeping us from having a healthy relationship with time and money. Time and money are the two biggest excuses that we use when what we want to say is no, right? When we want to say no, we use time and money as an excuse, right? So if I always use this example when I'm talking, if people say, Rita, do you want to go to this hot new trendy club in Washington, D.C., where you have to wear like 8-inch high heels and you've got to be dressed up and there are no chairs. It's total standing and it takes about an hour to get in. When you're in, you have to stand in your high heels. And the wine, yeah, it's okay wine, but it's like $300 a glass. But still, this is a hot new trendy bar. Do you want to go? Right? And I would rather poke my eyes out with a fork than go to this place, right? Because I would. I'll go, oh, you know what? I don't really, I'm so busy this week. I'm so busy this week. I really don't have the time to do it. Or, oh, I don't know. I just don't have the money for that, right? I just don't have the money for that. When really what I want to say is, no, I do not want to go there. I don't want to go to there, right? Do not take me there, right? I don't want to be there. And that's what I want to say. But instead I'll say, I just don't have the time, I don't have the money, but thank you so much, right? How many of you have ever used time and money as an excuse when what you wanted to say was no thank you, or just no? Type one in the comments if that's you. If you've used time and money as an excuse when really you just wanted to say no, right? Or when you haven't wanted to do the things that you need to do to make it happen, right? I've used it as an excuse in the past, right? Virginia says she has, Diana says she has, right? If I was typing, I would say I've done it in the past. Right? Here's the problem with that. We are out of integrity whenever we do that. We are lying, so we are out of integrity when we do that, right? When you're out of integrity, we talked about this in video 1. What happens? Your self-esteem starts crashing. What happens when your self-esteem starts crashing? Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of other people's opinions, whoop, rises up, right? It's important to stay in integrity with your language all the time, right? You got to stay. So you have to start saying no, right? Or if no is too difficult, right? Because a lot of people don't like saying no, but that's a Facebook Live for another day, right? So, but if saying no is too hard, say it's not a priority for me to spend the money on that right now. Thank you so much for inviting me to that restaurant. It is not a priority for me to spend my money on that right now. Or it is not a priority for me to spend my time on that right now, right? Oh, wow, that sounds like such a great event or such a great opportunity. It's not a priority for me to spend my time on that right now or my money on that right now. That is perfectly okay because, again, guess what? You are empowered by using that language. You are now making the decision to spend money or time on something. You are not a victim to time or money. When you say, I don't have time or I don't have money, you're saying you're a victim. Did you guys see that? Would you if you were dating somebody, would you let them dictate where you could go and what you could do? Would you tolerate that if they were like, hey, Rita, you can't go to that restaurant. You can't work on that. If that was a person, imagine a person standing over you saying, oh, you want to do business building right now? Nope, I'm not going to let you. You don't have any. I'm taking away your time. You don't get time to work on business building, right? Oh, you want to go? You want to hire that coach? You want to hire that coach? Nope, not going to let you. You're not allowed to hire that coach, right? Would you let a person talk to me, guys, in the comments, right? You can't tell I get super impassioned about this, right? Super impassioned. Would you let a person, right? And I see a lot of people kind of falling off the video, and I know this is a hard topic for people, and people do not like talking about this, but it is so important when it comes to having a healthy relationship with money and time, right? You would not let a person dictate what you could and couldn't do. So why are you letting money dictate what you can and can't do? And when you say, I don't have time for that, or I don't have money for that, that's exactly what you're doing. You're letting money and you're letting time dictate what you could do. And that's an abusive relationship. That is not a healthy relationship. Do you guys see that? It's really important that you guys see that, right? Saying, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, that's abusive. And if that was a person, you would not tolerate that. But you're letting time and money do that to you every single day. So you have to take back your power, right? And one of the ways that you take back your power is by saying no, or by saying it's not a priority for me to spend my time or money on that, right? And some people go, but Rita, it is. I do want to hire you as a coach, right? I do, right? Then say it is a priority. I just need to figure out how, right? Rita, it is a priority for me to hire you as a coach. I just need to figure out how to get the money, right? Or because you can answer the how. A how is actionable. Oh, I do want to go to that trendy restaurant. It is a priority. I just need to know how to find the time to do it. Now we can actually get to action. We can find how to do it, right? So Diana, I haven't thought about it that way, said Diana, right? Yes, I agree, and my language needs to be in alignment with my core values, says Umar, right? Yes, right? Like, and also, here's another thing that we do with time and money, okay? I'll ask people, what's your money relationship like? And they'll say, well, it's great. Money comes in, right? Money comes in, and we go out for the week. We have a great time. It's like we're going out to the show, and we're going to dinner, and we're doing all, money comes in, and it's a great time, and then it disappears. And I'm not quite sure when money will come back, but it always comes back. It always comes back, right? And I go, if that was a person, would you do that? Would you date a person that comes in and you have a great weekend, but then they disappear and you don't know when you're going to hear from them again? They always come back, but you never know when, right? They just randomly show up out of the blue, and then they wine and dine you and you have a great time, but they disappear again. Would you stay in a relationship like that? Probably not. So why are we staying in a relationship like that with money? Why are we staying in a relationship like that with time? Why do we tolerate with money and time what we would never tolerate with a person? Right? So the language becomes very empowering to start taking control of that situation. So I want you guys to start saying no. I want you to start saying, it's not a priority for me to spend my time or money on that. I want you to say, it is a priority for me to spend my time and my money on that. I just need to know how. And then you can work with somebody to find out how. I have had many clients who thought that they could not afford me say, Rita, it's a priority. I want to work with you. I need to know how. And I would give them a plan to go out and make money so they could work with me, right? I mean, that's how you get into action. I've had people think, I don't have time for business building. But then they would go, actually, it's a priority for me to make time for business building. I just need to know how. And then we would sit down and we would work on their time blocks and they would find time for business building, right? So do not tolerate with your money and time, which you would not tolerate with a person, right? Which is what we're going to get to next. I want to ask you guys a question, though. If money and time were no object, okay, if money and time were no object, let's start with money. If money were no object, what's one thing you would do? Type it right now in the comments, just real quick. Would you take a trip? Would you go on a cruise? Is there something you would buy? Is there something you would do? If money were no object, was one thing that you really want or you really want to do that right now not having the money for it is keeping you from it? Type it in the box. What's one thing? I'm gonna take a sip of coffee while you guys do that. I tell you guys, money and time is a tricky topic, right? It's something everybody wants and nobody wants to talk about. It's something everybody wants and nobody wants to talk about. Travel, but an electric car. Okay, so Diana says travel in an electric car, right? That's something she wants. Who else? I had somebody once say an around the world cruise. I want to go on an around the world cruise, right? Who else? Come on, guys. Want, right? Want. We all want, and there's nothing wrong with wanting. What do you want? If money was no object, what do you want? To go on a trip somewhere, to see France, to buy your own cottage, to have a beach house, to what is it, right? To buy a house from your mom, to to go out to that restaurant you've never been able to go to hire a personal chef, right? To outsource everything in your business, to have a business coach, to have a maid, I don't know, whatever it is, right? Whatever that is, whatever you wrote down, and this will be practices. You know, I don't like the word homework. If you didn't write it down, right? Like, I want you to write it down. And I want you then to identify 3 actions that you can take to start working towards that, right? Because we've just made a decision that money and time will no longer dictate our choices, that we make our choices first, okay? We make our choices first. Then we work out the money. Then we work out the time, right? That's action. You have to take action. You can't just hope it'll all work out, right? I always say, you can't say, oh, Rita told me it'll all work out, right? I'm just going to go buy that thing and hope it all works out. Rita never said that. Rita never, ever, ever said that, right? That's delusional. That's delusion, right? You have to make it work out. You have to make it. You have to do things, right? But you want to make your choices first and work out the time and money second. So what's your choice? What are you choosing to do? Diana's choosing to get an electric car. Who else? What else are you choosing to do? Make your choice first. For whatever choice you make, I want you to detail 3 actions that you can take. An action Diana could take would be, I just need to start Googling and reading about electric cars. That's number 1, right? Number 2 might be, I'm going to save $100 every week, right? Number 3 might be, I'm gonna go test drive one, right? Number 4 might be, there are different actions that you can take, little, tiny, little, they don't have to be big, little steps, every little step that it would take to get to that choice. Write them out and then just start, just pick one and just start, right? Make your choice first, work out the time and money second. Do you guys get that? I hope you guys are there. Like, the comments, like, I hope they haven't frozen up. So if you're there, just type we're still here, then I'll know that you guys are still there listening. But that's what I want you guys to do, right? Which brings me kind of, and the thing about time, right? Before I get to the final point of this video, the thing about time, and if the comments did freeze up, I'll come back and I'll read all of your stuff and respond, okay? But time isn't real, okay? So I want you guys, we talked a lot about money, but I want you to think about this with time. Time isn't real. Time is just an illusion, okay? Now, the construct of time is something we've created, right? Hours, days, minutes, weeks, months, all of that. Society over time has created a construct of time, right? But time is nothing more than one event followed by another event, followed by another event, followed by another event, okay? So to have a healthy relationship with time, you have to stop thinking about time management, okay? Time management's off the table. It's not about managing time. It's about managing the events in your day. And what events do you want to fill your day with? And that's taking that personal responsibility for your priorities and your time. Now, before I get to the final part, right, your big practice between now and the next session, right? Before I do that, we've talked about your money and time situation not causing your choices, not dictating your choices, but being the result of your choices. Whatever your money situation is, whatever your time situation is, they are a result of your choices, right? Number 2, we've talked about mindset, identifying stories about time and money that might be hurting you and how to rewrite them, right? And then we took time and money and we said, fine, now we know we have to make different choices and we have this new mindset. And we talked about how to make your choices first, right? How to be in integrity with your language and how to not be abused by money and time by making your choice first, identifying your choices and the action that you need to take, right? So here's the last part. And what that did was open the door to something I want you to do. And I'm going to pick up my phone, not because I'm being rude, but because I think the comments have really stalled. So on my screen. So if you guys are I don't know if you're there, you're not there, or what you're doing, or if you're talking or not talking. But I'm going to look on my phone and see, now you're going to hear me. Yeah, you say you're here. Okay, so you guys are here. I can't see. All right.
But I'm going to look on my phone.
Let me see if I can. Hold on. I'm going to turn down my phone so I can see comments on my phone. All right. So now I'm back, guys. I got comments going on my phone, right? So now I see everything you guys want to do. Fund anti-racism. I love that work. Move to a bigger house. Go on vacation. Do free work, right? For small moms, pro bono, give back, right? Vacation, fulfill my needs and wants, pay off my home equity loan. Guys, this is great. Okay, woo! I'm glad I can see a solution, right? I love solutions. Okay, so now you know how to make your time, right? Now you know how to make this work, right? Now I can see myself on my phone. It's like freaking me out. All right, so to be able to make these new choices. Now you've identified your choices, but to be able to if some of you might not know, how do I start changing my relationship with, now that I've identified this, right? What do I need to do to go deeper with it? I want you to think of, we're going to start with money. I want you to think of money as a person, okay? Money as a person. You are dating money. Money is a person, and it is a romantic partner in your life. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being they are the most amazing partner I've ever had, and 1 being like, oh my God, they are a terrible, awful partner, where do you fall on a scale of 1 to 10? Type it in the comments. Remember, money is your romantic partner. Okay, money is your romantic partner. Where do they fall? 10 is they are the most amazing partner I've ever had in my life ever. They take care of me. They're always, we're talking about money, remember. They take care of me. They're always there for me. I feel secure. I feel safe around money. I feel supported by money. Money supports my choices. Money lifts me up. Money is so easy, and it's comforting, and it's calm, right? That's a 10. Number 1 is the opposite of that. Where do you guys fall? I'm looking at the comments, but I don't see any numbers on the phone or on the, so I'm going to get out of this and come back into it and see what I see. You know, when you have tech difficulties, the show just keeps on going, guys. It just keeps on going. So, an 8. Okay, an 8's a pretty good partner, Virginia. It's pretty good. Right? A 6, average Joe. Just dating the average Joe. All right, 6 or a 7, right? Do not feel bad, guys. And again, I know a lot of people don't like to reveal personal stuff, which is why if you do want to have a strategy session with me on this, please, we're going to talk about that at the end, right? Do not feel bad if it's a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or a 4, right? A lot of people go, money's there for the fun stuff, but when it gets hard, money's not there for me, right? When things get difficult, money disappears. Right? It's only there for fun. It's not there. It's not growing. It's not growing. It's staying stagnant, right? My partner's just staying stagnant. It has no ambitions. It has no aspiration. It isn't growing towards something, right? It's happy being exactly where it is. You know, that's what money is. Money never comes around, you know, money. What about time? So now do the same thing for time and put in a number on a scale of 1 to 10 with time as a partner. A lot of people go, time is not there when I need it. Time disappears when I need it for something important. Time is never around. Time is there when I don't need it. It's always hanging around when I don't. Right? Time does not support me. Time does not make me feel safe. Time does not make me feel calm. Time does not make me feel secure. Right? How do you guys feel about time if it was your romantic partner? Is it a 10? Is it a 1? Where is that relationship? Right? With time, right? And people who want to have a better relationship with time and money, guys, this is the first thing to do. Look at time and money as a person and be honest. So I'm seeing people say high numbers, and I think that's great. I see that there are people on here who aren't typing any numbers. And what I want to say to you is it's okay to have a low number. Do not be embarrassed by that, right? That's how you start breaking out of that unhealthy relationship, is by identifying that it's not healthy, right? But that's only one piece of the puzzle. So people will say to me, I've identified time is not a good partner to me. Time, let's talk about time first. Time isn't there when I need it. There's never enough of it. It's always there when I don't want it. It's disappearing. It comes in and goes really quickly. Suddenly there's time and then it disappears, right? And I'll say, how are you treating time? What is your number as a partner to time? Right? And what do you mean? Right? And I'll say, what is your number? Right? Do you waste time? Are you like sitting on the couch watching? How much time in a day do you waste? Right? Looking on Facebook for not a business, not a good purpose like this, guys. Watching TV, sleeping in, going, all of that. How much time do you waste in a day? That's not being a good partner. You have time there for you. Time is there and you're wasting it. But then when you need it, when you want him, when you want time around, right? He's not there and you get upset. How can you expect time to be there for you when you're not a good partner, right? Do you plan for time? Do you support time? Do you honor time? When you set time blocks, when you set things to do for yourself, do you honor that commitment? Do you honor that date you made with time? If you set a time for business building from 12 to 3, if you say you're going to go work out at the gym from 4 to 5, if you say you're going to, do you honor that or do you break your commitment with time? Right? And if you break your commitment with time and you're not honoring it, how can you expect time to stick around for you? You can't, right? So it's really important that you evaluate, right, your relationship with time, your role in that, your role as a partner with time. How good of a partner are you to time? Do you waste it? Do you provide for it? Do you help it grow? Do you treat it with respect? Do you honor it? Do you prioritize it? Right? Are you quality with it? Are you doing quality activities and quality things with your time? Are you just filling it with needless stuff? Right? Do you guys see that the partner you are is the first thing to fix when it comes to getting a better return from time? And it's the same thing with money. People will go, money's never there for me. Money's not growing. Money bails when it's hard. Money is difficult. Money's not consistent, right? Money's not, and I will say, how are you when you're evaluating your partnership with money? Money doesn't make me feel safe. Money doesn't make me feel secure. All the same things, right? Well, how are you with money? Are you providing for it? Are you saving it? Are you nurturing it? Are you guys there? Say hi if you're there. Are you nurturing it? Are you helping it grow? Do you make money feel safe? Do you make money feel, good about being there? When people tell me money's only there for the fun, but for serious stuff, bills and medical expense, it's like never around, right? And I'll say, well, how are you with money? Do you only want to pay attention to money when it's there for the fun? But whenever the going gets rough and it gets hard, do you ignore money? Do you turn your head to money? Do you not want to talk about it? Do you not want to think about it when things get rough? If you only want to be a good partner when it's fun, and then you kind of want to bail or back out or be less committed or less of an invested partner to money, right? How can you expect money to stick around for you and be there? Would you stick around, right? No, right? You guys wouldn't, right? Hi, Karen, hi. So do you guys see you have to evaluate your role as a partner? Are you providing for money? Do you love all money all the time? Do you walk by a penny on the street and don't pick it up? Do you kind of like get loose change and just throw it in a drawer, right? Are you only excited by $100 bills, by $50 bills, by big sales? Or do you celebrate all money in your life, right? Do you notice and love and appreciate a penny as much as you notice and love and appreciate a $100 bill? Because if you don't, you need to. Because how will money appreciate everything about you if you don't appreciate everything about money, right? Do you guys see that? Like when I find a penny, I pick it up and I celebrate it. I have a little money dance. I'm like, yeah, woohoo, right? I have a little money dance and I'm celebrating it and I'm loving it. And I take it and I have a beautiful money jar that I decorate. I shine the penny up and I say, thank you so much, universe, for this penny. And I put the penny in the jar. Do you guys do that with pennies? Do you guys do that with dimes? Do you guys do that with nickels? Or do you only do that with quarters? It's only exciting when you find a quarter, right? I mean, think about how you treat money. I've had people say, money's knocking on the door and I don't answer. So think about your business. Do you ask for the sale? Do you ask for the sale? Because if you're not asking for the sale, that's the equivalent to money knocking on your door and you not answering it. And then going, why is money not here? Why is money not here for me? Right? People are there, right? Knocking on your door, but you're not doing, are you following up? Are you doing anything, right? Think about, that's money. Follow up is money, right? Asking for the sale is money, right? That's money. And so it's like, are you doing these things? Right? Do you ask for, do you say, would you like to work with me as your coach? Would you like to hire me as your attorney? What do you say? Would you love to do this? Would you love to do that? Right? Are you asking for it? Right? When you find a nickel, you find a penny and you kind of ignore it or you don't celebrate it, that's like money knocking on your door and you're like, oh, it's you? I guess you can come in. Right? How would you feel? Would money keep coming back if that's how you made it feel? Right? So I personalize money. If you want to have a healthy relationship, a sexy relationship with money and time, if you want it to be there for you and you want to be there for them and you all want to be there for each other and you want to be all in and be 100% committed to each other and there all the times through good and through bad, right? One of the exercises that you guys are going to do is rewrite and write your money love story, your time love story. So that's going to come in the post assignments that you guys are going to get, right? But that's what I want you guys to do. So to have a healthy relationship and a sexy relationship with time and money, first, you have to realize that whatever relationship you're having right now starts with you. It's a result of all of the choices that you've made, right? So for you to be able to make new choices, so you have new, healthy, sexy relationships with time and money, you've got to fix your mindset. Number one, you've got to identify those stories. You've got to rewrite them in a way that serves you, right? Number two, you have to fix your language, right? You've got to fix your language around time and money. You have to talk about it with integrity. You have to treat it with respect when you talk, right? Number three, you've got to stop letting time and money dictate your choices. That's abusive. That's not healthy. You have to make your choices first and then figure out how, right? How to reach those choices that you've made. And then you have to seek out the right support to help you make those choices, right? So that's what you have to do there. You have to make your choice first. And then when it comes to, well, what choices should I be making? What should I be doing differently with time and money? Right? What should I be doing differently? That's where looking at time and money as a person and not only evaluating how time and money treat you, but evaluate how you treat time and money and see where you can improve, because you have to be the kind of partner you want to have, right? See how money and business, all of it, it's just like dating. You have to be the person you want to attract. You have to be the partner you'd want to date, right? You have to be the kind of partner that you want money to be with you. You have to be the kind of person that you want time to be with you, right? Do you guys see that? So that's what I want you guys to do. So the exercises that you're going to get post-class will be to rewrite some of your mindset, to go ahead and change your language, to pick a choice, right? And finally, to write your money love story, a love letter to money and to time. All right. So do you guys have any questions, right? Anything? Was this helpful? Did you guys find this helpful? I know we went over by like 10 minutes, but it's a big topic and I really wanted to talk about it because the only way to have the results in your business that you want is to have a healthy relationship with time and money, right? You have to. You can't keep telling yourself the same stories over and over. I'm not disciplined. I'm not organized. It's tricky for me. I'm not good at that. It's harder for me. It doesn't work like that for me. My industry's different. It's not that easy. It's difficult. It takes work. All of that. You have to change all of that or you're not going to have the ultimate results that you want in your business, right? So on Friday, guys, Friday is a great topic. Friday, we're talking about the final relationship with other people, but specifically from a business standpoint, right? And we hear the word community thrown out. We hear a lot of people calling themselves community builders, but I don't see a lot of community. out there. And I think community, I know community is a key to success in your business. And this is one of the biggest mistakes that I see business owners make time and time again. So we're going to talk about the difference between audience and community. And we're going to talk about how to have real, authentic relationships and how to build community in a way that will really catapult your business and not feel icky. Okay? All right. Oh, bye, Carrie. Thank you. Bye. Oh, Diana, thank you. And Virginia, thank you. And everybody, thank you. Hopefully you'll let everybody know. Watch this one, right? Because people who are struggling with time and money, let's get it sexy. Okay, so maybe you guys missed it. I'll close with this. On Monday, I let people know I have improved my relationship with myself, and I have improved my relationship with time and money over the years. And one of the ways that that's manifested is with me changing my business model. Finally, I had announced on Monday, I had not changed my business model in 5 years, guys. 5 years, right? So that's the end of the last video. That was a big revelation, right? And so I've changed it, right? It's effective now. I'm in my new business model. But what that means is I only have 3 spots. I really do. I legitimately only have 3 spots left for clients between now and the end of the year, right? And I've had some people take me up on scheduling strategy sessions. I have not had those strategy sessions yet, so I do not have those spots filled. But if you are struggling with time and money, if you're still struggling with trying to fix the relationship with yourself, these are 3 key fundamental pieces to your business. And if you're ready to say, I need help, I can't do this on my own, Rita, I am making my choice. I'm making my choice to work with you. I need to figure out how, get on the phone and have a strategy session with me, right? Because these spots are going to go, and I'm holding firm to my own boundary this time of not taking on too many clients at the end of the year like I do, where I end up not being able to have my ideal life and my ideal day, and that's where I was headed, right? So that's at the end of the last video. But if you've noticed, Rita, my mindset's a mess. Rita, I've identified my relationship with money and it's not good and I want to change it. Rita, I need to know how. I need some help with that, right? Help me, help money flow in, make it easy to get, make it easy to keep, make time easy to work with and easy and always there for me. If you want help with this before the new year, so you don't wait and your business grows or stops stalling or is, moving forward, let me know. Say, Rita, I want to have a strategy session with you. I will find time. I will get you on the calendar. If anything, even if we don't talk again, right, hopefully you're going to walk away with a tip or 2, right? But I have gone higher in my business, fewer clients, deeper working together so people can have bigger breakthroughs. If that's you and you want to have a big breakthrough, please reach out to me. Do not be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. We've all been there. Let me know. I have a coach. Everyone I know has a coach, right? Coaches have coaches. Do not be embarrassed by this. I want you to have a great, sexy relationship with money. And I want you, right? I can't cuss on the camera. I just can't do it sometimes, right? But I want you to do that, right? All right, everybody, have a good one. This was a great lunch break for me. It is sexy, Jennifer. It is. All right. Mwah. Bye, guys. Take care. That's my kiss off for a sexy relationship with time and money, right? It's always there for me. Remember, time and money, always there for me, always takes care of me, supports me, is there when I need it, is there for the good, is there for the bad, makes me feel secure, makes me feel safe. That's sexy, right? Telling you can and can't do something, that's not sexy. All right, guys, take care. Bye, everybody.